"I'll go to jail for my beliefs," says devout Catholic mother set to be questioned by police for calling someone's transgender daughter he in a tweet after they debated primary school sex education with Piers Morgan on GMB. A devout Catholic and mother is the subject of a 5-month police investigation, after she was accused of calling a transgender woman a he on Twitter. Farrow, a broadcaster and writer for Roman Catholic newspapers, said she had a phone call from an officer on Monday asking her to attend an interview. Mrs. Farrow, 44, said she may have posted the suspect tweet following an appearance on Good Morning Britain last September, during which she took part in a debate on transgender children. She said she was prepared to go to jail, adding, "I don't know what I am suspected to have done. The only thing I can think of is that I may have referred to a 23-year-old transgender woman as someone's son. I try at all times to be polite on Twitter, but it is my belief on both a religious and scientific basis that you cannot change the sex into which you were born." She added the officer said her tweets had misgendered an individual by using the wrong pronoun, which could be an offense under the Malicious Communications Act. Sentences for those found guilty under this act can be as long as 2 years. The law makes it a crime to send messages that are indecent or grossly offensive, threatening, or contain information which is false or believed to be false, if the purpose for sending it is to cause distress or anxiety. The Twitter incident followed a studio debate between Mrs. Farrow and Susie Green, a transgender campaigner whose daughter Jackie, 25, is transgender. Mrs. Farrow, who was married to a priest, said she was worried and alarmed following the call from police. She wrote on Twitter yesterday, "I don't even remember said tweets. I probably said he or son or something. I have done nothing wrong, nothing illegal, and will happily do jail time for my right to say that people cannot change sex." The tweet case was pursued by Surrey Police, whose former Chief Constable Lynn Oons said in 2015 that as a result of £25 million in cuts and the loss of 250 officers, minor crimes would be ignored in favour of investigation of offences against vulnerable people. The force confirmed yesterday that it received an allegation over tweets by Ms. Farrow on October 15. A spokesman said, "A thorough investigation is being carried out to establish whether any criminal offences have taken place." A 44-year-old woman has been asked to attend a voluntary interview in relation to the allegation as part of our ongoing investigation. "We have been made aware that a number of allegations have since been made on Twitter and we will be making contact with the person concerned in relation to these posts." In 2012 Jackie Green made history when she became the first transgender Miss England finalist. Jackie, who was born Jackin, spent her childhood trying to persuade her parents she had been born into the wrong body, said, "I knew from the start that I was a girl, it was just actually having the vocabulary to make people understand. I would have had the surgery at 5 years old if I could. After the surgery it felt like starting life for the first time. Loads of kids go through stages, some people go down the transgender route and then change their minds, mostly because they don't have the support of their family." At primary school I dressed as a boy for the majority of the time. The kids understood and just took it in their stride. But secondary school was horrible. I was being spat on, being beaten up and called so many different names. The parents were the worst. I was prescribed blockers by a doctor in Boston when I was 12. It basically paused puberty and it saved my life. I would have killed myself. I wouldn't have been able to cope. When Jackie was aged just 4 she told her mother Susan, "God has made a mistake, I should be a girl." Trapped in a body she hated, Jackie first overdosed aged 11 and made 6 more suicide attempts before she was 15. Medicines were locked in a safe and knives had to be hidden away. She threatened to mutilate her genitals. And so, aged 16, Jackie Green became the youngest person in the world to undergo transgender surgery. She said, "Without that surgery, I wouldn't be here now. I'm a girl, I always have been. There's never been any doubt in my mind about that. It's just that my body didn't match because, as far as I'm concerned, I had a birth defect." The row blew up on the same day as it emerged. The Oxford English Dictionary is introducing gender-neutral words in what editors said was an attempt to grapple with a sensitive topic. These include her and her as alternative pronouns to him, his or her, peoplekin rather than mankind, and Latin ad as a gender-neutral term for someone of either sex from Latin America. Meanwhile, the verb misgender could apply to anyone who makes any gaffes.